Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. It is Thursday night, 7:15 p.m. my time, 11:15, 10:15 p.m. your time, sorry. And we are here for Aftermath of Dynamite, as we always are on Thursday night. We're going to talk what I think was kind of a crazy, exciting week in AEW. We got four shows: Rampage, Collision, Battle of the Belts, and last night's Dynamite. So I watched because I didn't watch. I watched Rampage because I was on here doing the watch along. I didn't watch Collision because I was doing something else. So I went back and watched. I didn't watch Collision or Battle of the Belts yet. So I went back and watched Collision. Then
Mhm.
I watched Dynamite because they're both on my DVR. But I didn't set it up to record Battle of the Belts because it was a one-off. For whatever reason, it didn't record it. So I went and watched Battle of the Belts after Dynamite. And I was like, wait a second, I'm confused. The things aren't making sense. And then I realized I'm watching it out of order. So once I realized I was watching it out of order, then I was like, okay, I get it now. I was like, wait a second, that I thought those guys did that yesterday.
Right,
Okay, now I
like,
got
I don't know, like I had the hardest time when Collision was on. They didn't like they still don't have AEW Collision. I'm like, where is this on the Hulu? I know, like, I could have sworn I recorded it, and I can't even find it.
it. Yep. All right,
Yeah.
so I guess we'll start off with the Rampage. Dun 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 dun. From 10:20 last Friday. It was a fun show. We had Rocky Romero versus Mystico, 2 out of
Mm,
3 falls match, which took a long time. It took a big chunk of Rampage, if I remember correctly. I was thinking
yeah.
when we were watching it, because I was on with you when we were watching it. We were like, "Wow, this match is taking a long chunk." And it went 1-1, and then finished 2-1. Mystico got the win, and I guess retained his CMML title. I think it was for one of the CMML
Uh, yeah, I believe
CML
so.
titles. I thought it was a fun match. I like Rocky Romero. What'd you think?
But it was, like you said, very entertaining. Same thing. I'm like, 2 out of 3 falls. I mean, this is your first match. It's a very interesting move. I know you want to draw the people in who just watched SmackDown, you know, right, or just came home. But it's like, still, your main event still has to be on par with this. But yeah, and then like
Yeah.
Mystico, who AKA used to be Sin Cara in WWE,
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, now like they're like he's so good. I'm like, that he wasn't bad in WWE, but they never gave him enough time to do what he did on Rampage, which was the flippity
Yeah.
flips.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I like him more as Mystico. He
Yeah,
seems to be. He looks. I mean, he's wearing a mask, so to say. He looks more comfortable. It's weird because you can't see his face, but like his body language and just you could see that like he's a different guy
yeah,
than he was in WWE. So, um, yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun, and I always like Rocky Romero, so that was fun. Then
yeah.
we had Dolores is pushing us along here. Then we had the AEW number one contendership 3-way match with John Silver and Evil Uno defeating Kip Sabian, the Blade, which let's see, I'm trying to remember. Yes, that's right. Um, Kip Sabian got the win, if I remember correctly.
No, 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 no.
Um, oh no,
John
no,
Silver got
that's
the
John
win.
Silver. That's why he got the match. That's right, he got the match.
Yeah.
And it was yeah, we'll talk about that later. But that was a good match. So this was an okay match. I was glad to see John Silver get the win. I mean,
Hmm.
give it to somebody else. Let somebody else have a chance. I mean, he's probably not going to win it, but at least he could have a good match.
Yeah. Sentiments exactly. I like these three. Like they really do have the potential to be higher up on the card. So this was a nice little spotlight on them. Hopefully next time there. But yeah, John Silver he's good. He's really good. So yeah, very happy he won too.
Yes. Then we had Claudio and Wheeler defeat Brian Keith, who was number one on Righteous Reg's top 500 black wrestlers, current black wrestlers, and Exodus Prime, who I'm not familiar with. I'm honestly not familiar with Brian Keith either, but honestly, after seeing him on here, I know I've seen him before. I guess I just didn't know who he was per se. But yeah, I mean, this was what it was. Blackpool Combat Club kind of squashed him a little bit, which was kind of
Mhm.
weird, but okay, I guess it is. I mean, that's what you would expect to have happen here. And at the same time, like, okay, this is the best, something on somebody's list somewhere. Like, you should give them, maybe should have a little more time, chance to show something. I don't know, but
But very surprised that TK doesn't watch Righteous Reg and what's the podcast called on Saturday? Uh
Grapsity,
Grap City, right? It's like
yeah,
you heard with Washington, so I'm gonna assume you still watch it, right? So it's like,
right,
but yeah, no, I love him. Like he's the bounty hunter. I love when he first did the match with Heyman. I thought he was great. So yeah, kind of unfortunate. This was we call it a squash match. Hopefully, he'll get him and X's Prime, which is just a great wrestling name to come up with. Hopefully, they'll get more time the next match. But yeah, it was what it
yeah,
was.
yeah. Then we had Ruby Soho defeat Sky Blue. Um, yeah, I mean, okay, whatever. I mean,
But
I thought it was
again,
a good
like
match. Sky Blue's been misted and acting kind of weird, and so that's kind of whatever. I'm not sure what that story means, and so I'm not sure what they're trying to whatever. And then yeah, Ruby Soho and the Outcast minus Tony Storm. Tony Storm's doing the best thing in the women's division by far, maybe the best thing on AEW right now. One of the best, let's put it that way. And
one
I'm
of the
glad that she separated herself from the Outcasts. Um, so yeah, I mean, okay, Ruby Soho won.
best. Like yeah, very nice match, but again, 2 out of 3 falls should have been the main event. That's all.
The main event. Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. All right, then we had Collision on Saturday night. Let's see. That started off with the American Dragon versus Andrade El Idolo in a very good match, as it should be, right? I mean, we know who
Yeah.
Brian Danielson is and what he can do. We're all familiar with what Andrade can do when he's given a stage to do it on. So yeah, I mean, there's no mystery as to why this was a good match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was odd that it opened the show again. Rampage had the 2 out of 3 falls, which probably should have been the main event. And I'm not saying this was the main event of Collision or should have been, but it could have been arguably. So yeah, I mean, I don't. But what do they say on WWE 2K23 when you play and you play GM mode? Triple H says you got to have a hot opener and a hot main event. So there you go. So this is your hot opener, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that the main event for Collision led more into Battle of the Belts. I think that played a factor into
Right.
it. But yeah,
Sure.
this was Dream Match is a little bit of a stretch, but a match that was really great. But like, hopefully, like now to like give Andrade a program, right? We've seen Duke and wrestle. We've seen Duke and wrestle great, but it's like now give him a story or an actual rivalry.
Yeah. So and then we had, as the banner says, Sky Blue defeated Hollywood Haley. Geez, that must have been. 'Cause I watched this and I don't remember it, but yeah, I don't know if you remember this match. I guess it must have been a squash match or something because I don't really remember it.
I
Um,
remember, like it didn't go that long, but I remember that name because I'm like, wait, that is Al Snow. She came from Al Snow's program. I want to
okay,
say OVC.
OVW, yeah,
OVW, which is like when I watched the promos for the Netflix show. I'm like, and she was the one. She was a breakout star, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. She's on TV. Yes, that was nice. Like squash, it was a little longer than squash, but yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
great match to set up to hype up Sky Blue before she
Sky
go
Blue.
against Chapman.
That's what it is, right? It's a showcase for Sky Blue, really, which is
Yeah,
unfortunate. You know what's funny? Like, I actually watched that show on Netflix, all 7 episodes, I think, of that show, and I didn't
yeah.
even recognize her when I watched this match. Like, I'll have to watch it back again because, like, I don't know. Maybe I was doing
Her
something,
hair.
paying attention at the same time that this was on. I don't know, but for some reason, yeah, it totally missed me. And I like that show. The Al Show Snow on Netflix is great, by the way. What is it called? I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but what
No, it
someone
was
can help me
great.
out. But it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah,
Let's see. Then we have the Guns with Jay White defeat the Outrunners. I mean, Bullet Club, Bang Bang Gang. The Guns are benefiting big time from being with Jay White. and Juice
Oh,
Robinson, right? I mean,
yes.
if not just because they're getting more time on TV, but just being under the learning tree of someone like Jay White and or Juice Robinson, who is probably still under the learning tree of Jay White in theory, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, these
Yeah.
guys have come such a long way in the 3 years or 2 or 3 years that they've been on TV. It's amazing. So yeah, I mean, I like the Outrunners. They remind me of a classic '80s tag team. So I'm here for them sometimes, but they should be getting beat by the guns at this point.
Yeah. Most definitely. And like you said, like when the guns were by themselves, the douchiness was not like like it was go away heat, right? Now it's like we can't stand y'all, but we want to see why we can't stand y'all. And so yeah. Was this
Yeah.
the one where I want to say that Juice gave sorry, Jay White gave Juice the fake behind ring. Let
Uh,
this collision or next year. Well, that was last
no,
year.
I
I mean,
think
sorry, last week.
that was Juice's match, right? Against what
Okay,
was
okay, okay,
that?
okay, okay.
The match before he wrestled MJF. Juice was in the match. It was before the match with MJF for the ring. So I think
All right,
that
cool, cool.
comes. Yeah, I think we'll get there.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Uh, I remember. I don't remember when it happened either. With 4 shows, it's hard to remember what happened on what show. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I remember it in that way. Then we had Jeff Jarrett versus or defeated Eddie Kingston. Yeah, I mean, well, it took all of them to defeat Eddie Kingston. Sorry, let's put it that way. Um, yeah, I
It was
mean,
supposed to be Jeff Jarrett versus Eddie Kingston, but it really was Team Slapnuts versus Eddie Kingston.
so let me ask you a question. Like, I know Eddie has some friends. Like, nobody came. Not one motherfucker came to help this guy. He's getting his ass broke off by 4 dudes, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's okay. Let Eddie get his ass beat." Like, wow. I was like, man, that's brutal.
Okay,
Like, and no Penta, no nobody, no Moxley, no nobody.
all right. So Penta wasn't on the show, so we're gonna X him off the list. Moxley, he was back there, but his debut was at the end of Collision, so he can't come
Yeah.
out yet. So that's X off him.
Eddie
Ortiz,
Kingston dove on him to try to save him from alive burning in the ring when the ring didn't explode, and now he can't even come out to help him against. Come on now.
was he dying? Was he on fire? Was he dying? No, he was getting his behind whooped. But so no, you can do it by yourself. You're fine.
Uh, yeah, no, I mean, if anyone can eat an ass whipping and look like a bigger man for eating it, Eddie did. And he came in that promo afterwards and looked like, he was in
Ooh,
the ring. He was all beat up in the back. And yeah, I mean, Eddie, that's it's good for Eddie's character. That's right up his wheelhouse to take a beating like that. And now he'll come back and he'll get, receipts on all of them. So yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I hate seeing Eddie beat up, but, and I
But
hate Team
most
Slapnuts,
definitely,
but
like it was on the brink of okay. I know it's a DQ, no DQ, but like refs, we call it ref discretion. Kick someone out the break. Like it was a lot. It
right?
was for me. It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And really, I think what it did was it made Eddie look way stronger, right? And way badder. Like it took 4 guys really
Yeah,
putting in a lot of work to get him to where they could
in one chick.
to get the win. So yeah. So he looks tough in defeat. Maybe that's why no one
Yeah.
came down to help him. But then we had Miro defeat Action Andretti. I have some feelings about this. Like I like Action Andretti, and I like him with the Martin brothers. Hopefully, when they're both healthy and back together as a trio, but at
Mm,
least as a tag team. And now I feel like he's just fodder for the story between Rusev and Lana. Like it doesn't have anything to do with Action Andretti. This is all about Miro and Lana. Sorry, Rusev, Miro and Lana. You know what I mean? And just their
yeah.
whatever weird shit they have going on. Like she's at ringside, supposedly scouting Action Andretti, but smiling every time Miro gorilla presses him, and then looks upset when Action Andretti does any kind of offense. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
So
I feel bad for Action Andretti. I'm here for I'm here for Miro and Lana. I like that story. I think it's working out okay. I just feel bad for Action Andretti. I think he's better than that.
yeah. So I would say this. It wasn't a complete squash match, which I do like because I'm like, what? Oh, they gave him 5 minutes of comeback. Okay, that's cool. I see how that one.
Yeah,
Right? Like, cause it really could
yeah,
have been a squash, and he don't do jack squat, right?
it
So
could have been. It could have been for sure.
I do appreciate that they let him shine, but this is the plan. Like he has to be sacrificed for the greater good. The plan is for Lon to get Miro back, and this is how you got to do it. You got to make him jealous and enraged, and that's how he's gonna fall back in love with me. So you get Andrade has to be
Uh,
sacrificed, but like so we know. Hopefully that's the story, right? And if that's the
right.
story, I would say extend it. You don't have to go to the conclusion real fast. So let Lana still sign Andrade action. Oh, I'm gonna come action. Let her still sign action and let him get a couple of wins, and then like he is good, right? And like I said,
Yeah,
I'm glad that they didn't make it into a 100% squash match.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. I mean, they did give him some time, and he had a couple minutes. I mean, it took Miro at least 2 or 3 times of trying game over before he actually was able to sink it in and finish the match. I mean, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess Andrade didn't get squashed. Yeah. But you're right. Let's see. Then we had Bad Thad Brown and Darlin Bankston versus FTR that ended in no contest. I think because I didn't know who these guys were, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to this. I don't remember.
you don't need to know because it didn't even get there. FTR was in the
That's
ring.
right.
It went black. It came
Oh, that's
up.
right. Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
Malachi Black is back. Yes,
Malachi
he
Black
is.
was there. And he no more eye paint, no more weird face paint
It's
or
like
whatever.
it's not like a disease that just infected the half of his face, which I do appreciate. It's like I think
No,
it's like just a
he's
little bit, but like not that's a whole freaking thing where it's like, bruh, get some eye drops or something. But yes, I am
this was
very
the
happy that
first
he's back.
this was the first of what, 3 appearances on this show? 2 appearances on this show. 2 or 3.
No,
Uh
I want to say it was three. I want to say it was three.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because the first time was by himself. I want to say. Wait.
Yeah, the
No,
first
we
time he
missed
came
it.
out alone.
No, yeah, the first time it was between he came out with Danielson versus Andrade. He
Oh,
was by
that's right.
himself and beat
That's
up
right.
Danielson. The second
That's right.
time, this time it was him and Brody, and they beat up
That's
FTR, which was cool. Yeah,
That's right. Thank you for the correction. That's right. Again, watching it all blended together, and I forget some of it. So yeah, that's right. So this was the second time with him and Brody. That's right. So
yeah,
now we'll get hopefully House of Black versus FTR. I guess that's where we're going. And Danielson versus Malachi Black. So yeah, no, I mean that was one of the things that was exciting. I remember now about this weekend. It was this week
yeah,
in AEW. They are well, he's back, and they appear to be back unified as House of Black. So yeah.
yeah. And hopefully he gets
I'm I'm
a
ha- I'm
singles match.
yeah, I'm happy to have them back as long as they use them correctly. Or use them at all, right? Like, so
Yeah,
hopefully this is an indication of them using them more and correctly. Because I like the way that they used them. I thought the way they brought him back was good. When it went black, honestly, when it went dark, I didn't know who it was going to be, but I didn't expect it to be him yet. I wasn't
right.
sure. I thought maybe Dolph Ziggler. I didn't know who it was going to be. Honestly, I don't know how much time Dolph has left on his non-compete. I didn't know, but like, yeah, it
Yeah.
surprised me. So then we had Big Bill and Ricky Starks defeat Claudio and Wheeler. This one went. This was the final match. This was the main event of
Hmm.
Collision, and this bled into Battle of the Belts
Yeah.
a little bit, not too long, like a couple minutes, but yeah, I mean, this was, there's obviously all this going on, and we'll talk about Dynamite and the way Dynamite ended. I think it is too, where like you have kind of people standing off and choosing sides, right? So you've got
Right.
Ricky and Bill with why am I drawing a blank on their names? It's on the tip of my tongue right now. But I mean, I guess we can talk about that when we get to Dynamite. But
Okay.
here, go ahead.
Yeah. So it was Ricky and Big Bill versus Claudio and Yuta. It was
Right.
great. I want to say someone cheated. Definitely someone cheated. And then House of Black came back up, and
Yes.
then it was a brawl. And
And then
so,
it was an
yeah,
all-out brawl.
And then
And then
Danielson
Moxley showed
came
up.
get his lick back, but they were
Yep.
they fought him off. If y'all try to get into the mix, they fought him off. And then when it looks like BCC and FTR we're not gonna make it. Wow, the heck?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Moxley's music hit came down. Yeah, this was fun. I mean, this was a lot of people getting TV time together. I mean, I this all has to be leading, and then at the end of Dynamite, I think it is. It's leading towards another Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede, War Games type of match where these two team factions, groups of guys are going to face off against each other in some sort of 5-on-5
Yeah.
contest. I think. I mean, that's what it seems like it's leading up to. Um,
We'll see, because it's a whole lot of hands in the pot, right? But
there
in
are.
it's only been a couple of weeks, but yeah, I missed John Moxley, and when he came out, it was the big deal that it should have been. It was so good. It was so good.
But let me ask you, so no one came out to save Eddie, and then when Mox came out to try to save his Blackpool brothers, he's just kind of not slowly, but normal Mox walk to the ring through the crowd, like no run, no urgency, no let me get down there and help out. Like what was wrong with people that night? Like nobody wanted to help nobody. Like
So that is standard John Moxley. If you remember, I'm not sure who he was facing, but I think Yuta was getting his behind whooped, and he ran slowly down to the ring. Cause BCC, we did this. We thrive in pain. They'll be all right. They're not gonna pass
right,
out. So I gotta do the
yeah,
entrance.
yeah. So that was the main event of Collision, which was a really good show,
Yeah.
and that led right into Battle of the Belts.
It
Um,
literally spun because I think Claudia was spinning Ricky. And it's like, we're going to the Battle of Bells. I'm like, are y'all serious? I
Yeah,
love it though. Let's go.
slowly they cleared those 25 guys out of the ring. They got Orange Cassidy and John Silver in the ring for John Silver's AEW or his challenge for his opportunity at the
Hmm.
AEW International Championship that he won on the Rampage before in the three-way that we
First
talked about
things first
earlier.
though. So OC was feeling himself. He was doing the entrance. Moxley was trying to leave. He go shoulder bump Moxley like he's a
Oh yeah,
crackhead. I'm like, what
yeah,
the? And True Moxley farm, he darn near pushed him down the ramp, and he got into a
yep.
stump. I'm like, look here, OC. I know you're feeling yourself. I know you're mad, but let's not do that. Ain't the one. That ain't the
Yeah.
one. I know what I'm saying.
It was quite hysterical when they bumped shoulders. Um,
Trying to
and
freaking call it like bring out your inner Samoa Joe. This is not this is not NXT.
yeah. Um, so that was fun. I enjoyed that. Then we had Samoa. Oh yeah. Wait, did we talk about the actual first match? Um,
It was
no, Cassidy. Yeah, it was Cassidy and Silver.
yeah.
Silver threw Cassidy around. I mean, Cassidy did his best Darby Allen impression and took a lot of punishment, I guess, from John Silver. I, you
Yeah.
know, there were times I mean, I didn't think he was going to win, but there were times where I wanted John Silver to win. I mean, I wanted him to win, and
Mm,
so I thought, ooh, right here, maybe, but Cassidy ended up pulling it out in the end, as I assumed he probably would. It was a good match. I mean, uh,
no,
John
like we
Silver
said
had a really good
before,
showing.
he's so good, and it's like I'm trying to think. It's like because sometimes you gotta strike when the strike while the iron's hot, and it's like how do we reheat up Dark Order? Because John Silver's great, Alex Reynolds is great too, and so is Eva Luna. So it really is like, what can we do to get them not higher up the card, but just back to be interesting? Because yeah, John Silver was great in this. He's a great striker. He is so strong.
Yeah,
He
yeah, no,
deserves higher.
I enjoyed it, and I think it shows that he can wrestle with the best of them. I mean, I think they I thought he looked just as good as Orange Cassidy. He can really go and wrestle, and he probably deserves more than he's getting. So
Most
Dark Order does in
definitely.
general. But
Yeah.
all right, then we did have Samoa Joe versus Tony Nese, which so in my mind, yes, Samoa Joe should be basically squashing Tony Nese, But Tony Nese has been winning a lot and getting a lot of like TV time with his whole. No one actually ever has to get up and do his routine with him. He never gets that far because his routine always
Yeah.
gets interrupted. But like, it was weird to see someone that gets a lot of time and feels like he's getting a push get squashed. So, I mean, I guess it's to make Samoa Joe look stronger because he's coming for MJF too. I'm not sure, but okay.
Like definitely, like you said, you can't. He's not supposed to beat Samoa Joe. So like, yeah, hype him up, give a nice little showing, but no, you're not going to beat Samoa Joe. So like, just do your best moves and shine, darling, shine. It's
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't even think that Tony Nese really had a chance to shine here, which I thought was kind of odd. I mean, it was really it felt like a short, almost a squash match. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was almost that quick. I mean, it was like he did his little move out of the way. Tony Nese missed his little move, his high flying move as Joe moved out of the way, classic Joe, and then hit him with a muscle buster, and it was like, oh, it's over already. Okay, well, I guess there we go. So,
that was
yeah,
it. It really felt like
yep.
that. Yeah.
Well, no, it was like Joe. Joe definitely wanted to get in and out, right? He wasn't wasting time. Like, I'm not paid by the hour. Let's just get this done, right? Like, okay, another day at the
Yeah.
office for Joe. I'm here for it, and I'm definitely here for MJF. Him and MJF. I don't know how it works out because there's like 25 people now that MJF has matches lined up with, or in the barrel, essentially in the chamber to have a match with. Like, I'm not even sure he's going to make Omega here. I'm sure he's going to, but like he's got to make it past Omega on Saturday night. Like, so
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see after that. But I mean, I'm here for Joe and MJF, but I don't know how we get there.
Right. It right now. I'm going to enjoy the ride because it's not clunky. The story is definitely not clunky, right? So it's like, all right, I'll see where y'all taking it. I'll see where y'all take it.
Yeah. Then we had the most disappointing match of the evening for me. Willow lost to Chris Statlander. I knew that Willow wasn't probably going to win here. And I think she had a pretty good showing, but I really wanted Willow to win here. I really want Willow to be the TBS champion. For me, she's way more exciting than Chris Statlander. So,
No, so I'll say this: Statlander is doing great with her matches. They are entertaining to say the least, right? With Willow, like I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not exactly where Luke Owen is right now, where it's like it is what it is, but it really is the question of okay, she's great. When are you going to push her?
yeah.
What does she
Yeah.
have to do?
Yeah, and the commentators during this match seem to be mentioning Willow's kind of more aggressive, a little bit more darker. Oh, she choked her out, or she choked her in the corner, which is something Willow doesn't normally do. So I guess they're trying to prepare us and foreshadowing a heel turn where we're gonna get heel Willow. I think is what they're trying to imply or present. I'm not sure, but I guess
Not
we're gonna see.
exactly, because the end of the match, right? And Statlander trying to shake her hand. What's his name? Sky Blue ran down and was like,
Yeah,
"No, we are dark
yeah.
now." And so then Will was like, "No,
And
he's
Will
not.
said
Stop
no,
tripping."
shook her hand, but like, I wonder. I think they're doing it in a slow burn, right? Like, it happened super quick with Sky Blue, who's now clearly whatever. But I don't know. It seemed weird that the commentary was so focused on her being more aggressive and being, kind of. But I guess if that's the story they're presenting, and her and Blue got misted, and now are they both dark? Then I guess it makes sense too. And maybe she squashed that by shaking Statlander's hand. Maybe I misinterpreted it.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
it
no.
felt like.
So I last week, right? It felt like they're on the same page, and this week I feel like so it is about the mist, and I think Willow is trying to fight it. That's why she shook Statlander's hand, but Blue
Okay.
is not fighting it at all. So I think
Okay.
that's the story, which is cool. But
Yeah. That makes
I
sense.
need the story to involve other big players to elevate Blue and Willow. It can't be just them two in this Blue Misted story thing.
Right. Yeah. 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 All right.
Yeah.
Uh, then we had the acclaimed versus the JAS, not the JAS, the not
Not
JAS.
job.
They don't have a name now. I don't know. They're just whatever.
They really call yourselves the family or something because we don't know what to call you. We don't want to be disrespectful.
Right? I love Matt Menard being the anti fun guy. Like, you can't dance. We're not gonna have any fun here. That, like it's
Sure,
hysterical, and I love that. I love that Daniel Garcia can't help himself. He had dude's head between his legs, ready to do his finisher move, and had to
it
take a
was
second
so
to do
weird.
the little dance, and lost the move.
You're not
Got messed
doing
up.
that between your legs,
Eh,
sir.
so yeah, no, I mean this was fun. I mean, I like the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. I'm here for it. I thought it's weird, right? So like Max Caster comes out always. I guess this is a regular thing. I don't know why I kind of just picked up on it here, but like he blasts the home city with like three negative lines, and then Bowen's just like, "That's why we love Memphis, and Memphis loves the Acclaimed." It's like, okay, I get it, but Caster just blasted y'all. Like, it's weird to me, but yeah, I mean, I like the Acclaimed. I'm glad they won here. I like them as trios champions. I don't think they're getting I don't think the trios division has been what Tony envisioned it to be, and I'm not totally sure why. I think it's just probably bad booking or bad timing, injuries, things not happening the way they're supposed to. But like, I really like the Acclaimed as trio champion. They just haven't had what I would call a
Mhm.
very spectacular run. I mean,
I would definitely talk it up the bad booking, and hopefully them being interacting with what's his name, MJF will help. But
yeah,
yeah, they definitely need a program with someone on par with them. These nice little squash matches are cool, and that kind of sucks though because 2.0 really could have been a group that they could have had a nice rivalry with and maybe had the titles off of. So it's like,
yeah,
let's slow down on some of these, right? And like build 2.0 not jazz up a little bit more because like I
yeah,
said, they really could have taken the titles from them. So like hopefully maybe down the line.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I like I like 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, but the way they presented them over the time that they've been there has made them feel like they're B or C stars, and the Acclaimed are now wrestling down. Like it's almost like a downgrade
Yeah.
to wrestle these guys,
It,
as opposed to like, where's House of Black? Where's the Hung Bucks? I know the Hung Bucks are defending the Ring of Honor's 6-man tags. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's weird.
yeah.
Where's Death Triangle? You know what I mean? Like all the really good that Acclaimed should be having matches with, like, and they're not. So they
Yeah.
get 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. That brings us to last night's Dynamite and the final show we're going to talk about tonight. It was an action-packed Dynamite. It was. I said this on AEW Ramble in the chat. I said it was crazy. I don't know if it was good, but it was crazy. Like there was a lot going on. Um, yeah, I guess we'll
My
talk about whether it was good or not. But
my sentiments exactly. It was like, and like I heard that they're in the middle of a TV deal. It's TV deal season, right? But it really
yeah,
was like not, there you go, not cohesive for me. So
yeah,
like I like cohesiveness. I like a story within what you call a show. That would be nice. And I don't get like, yeah. Let's go into it. Let's talk about it.
all right. Dolores will put up the first banner. Uh, yes. MJF talking to Renee Paquette. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember the details of that. You remember them off the top of your head?
So like, yeah, we actually started Dynamite with a promo, right? And so MJF was being interviewed by Renee. The Kingdom and Roddy
Oh,
came
that's
to,
right.
yeah, he was like, you know what? Even though you were in a double match, we're gonna put it beside you. We're gonna be your tag team partners for get your bang bang belt back. Or I'm sorry, BB, the Triple B. And so he was like, so Max and Triple Scumbag One was like, yeah, sure, that'd be awesome. And he just pushes Roddy
Roddy.
the wheelchair out of the frame.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? Basically, and told Juice Robinson, I'm gonna whoop that behind. Basically. And then we went
And
into Juice
that was the
versus,
same one where Roddy's yelling Max like he was Adam, or like he
yeah,
was
yeah,
yeah.
After the match, yeah.
Max, Roddy, I'm literally right here.
Your face. Yeah,
Roddy's great, dude. Yeah, no,
so
this was
good.
fun. Fun way to open the show. If you're gonna open it with a promo, this was fun.
Mhm.
Max MJF is, in his bag. He's in the zone. Everything he does is gold at the moment. Whether it's heel work or babyface work, he's showing now that he can do either perfectly, right? So,
Yeah.
and now he's showing that you can be a babyface heel, right? Like, who else has ever been the fan scumbag? Like, I can't think of anybody else that's been able to actually do
Like
that quite like that.
to call yourself a scumbag, yeah. Like I would say he is getting close to Stone Cold, right? Where it really was like, as long as he's not offending us, he's where the frick he wants. Like
Yeah,
he's an island to himself. Don't trust
but
anybody. You're guilty until proven innocent.
But it feels like the difference between him and Stone Cold is that MJF is still insulting the people as they cheer for them. Like they're cheering him, insulting them. Like it feels like it's like one of those weird dynamics where like the more he insults them, the more they like it. Like I want to
But
be insulted. Like there's a restaurant. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a restaurant where there's a woman that runs a cash register and she talks shit to everybody. And it's like it's been on like Food Network, like as like on Triple D or one of those, where they go and they check out restaurants, right? And it's this woman that will talk shit to you while you wait and get your order. And people go there just to have their talk shit to them. Like it's this thing to come. We're like, yeah. So people are weird. It is some weird shit. But yeah, no, yeah. But yeah.
and I guess the key to it is like he didn't go overboard. Like
Yeah.
it's truths to what he's saying, and he did it in a very playful way. It's like, all right, you can be a scumbag, but just watch it. That's it.
Then we had MJF versus Juice for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and I was pissed. I was really, really, really pissed about this because I don't understand why he has to keep winning the ring. I think it devalues it. It means nothing now. He's had it forever. You might as well just get rid of this stupid thing. I mean, it's just Max's now. I mean, no one's ever going to win it. I mean, so what's the fucking point?
five, 5 years really is a long time.
That's a
It
long time.
really is, right? It like what would it do for him to lose it, right? I would have loved if last time when he was going against Ricky, was that a year ago?
Yeah,
Holy
it must.
Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
Right?
Yeah,
Like I would have loved if Ricky would have done it because that was a perfect way to end it. But it really is like it's one of the things where you're on a streak and you're not sure how to end it, and it's gonna. Unfortunately, I feel like it's gonna end subpar. It's gonna be like a womp womp. Like all right, like a wet fart. It's like all right, he won it. Fine, it's over.
yeah.
I feel like that's where we're at now with the ring thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought it was perfect when Juice got in to use his little ring and went to swing to hit Max, but Max countered and obviously hit him with the diamond ring. So, but Juice should have been able to land that punch and win right there. I thought it should have been
Yeah.
over.
Side note: I thought earlier this year there was a list of stuff you can't do in matches, but evidently they said screw this list. If I see one more time y'all spit in people's face, that is the nastiest thing in the world. I don't understand why y'all need to do it. I don't understand how y'all do it, and y'all just chalk it up to okay, we're just doing a wrestling match. No, you're not spitting in my face. It's gonna be a shoot fight. I'm gonna rip your head off. It's gross. It's
Yeah,
fucking gross. It's
it doesn't it doesn't surprise me that sometimes these things break down into real, you know, shoot stuff because like yeah, I mean at some point like these are men, that do have feelings and eventually like and they're these they're macho men, right? They're wrestlers. So like they're tough guys in
yeah.
theory, right? So like you're only gonna take so much abuse for so long. Like at some
It's
point you're gonna really slap somebody in the face and be like, oh my bad. But like, like yeah, I just so yeah, yeah, you're not gonna spit in my face. Like that's yeah, I don't know about that. Woo! Hook and
yeah.
RVD. Then we had Hook and RVD versus
Oh,
Alex Reynolds. Oh,
because this was afterwards, right?
oh yeah,
Jay
yeah,
White
yeah,
got
yeah.
on the mic and he was like, even though you have the dynamite ring, we still have your bang bang. We're going to bang bang belt. I'm Triple B.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah. We had a whole bunch of people come down.
right. He gets jumped.
Yep.
Akino tries to save him, but that was failure. Acclaim
Yep.
comes out, that was a success. And so MJF says we're gonna do the 4-man, eight-man tag, but he rejects Acclaimed and the Kingdom. I'm very interested in who he's gonna pick.
So
We're
he's
gonna talk about
and
more when we get to Samoa
and I
Joe,
get
but I'm like, I think
he's
all of
gonna
us
be.
could have sworn Acclaimed, right? Yeah.
I would think so. That seemed to make sense. I guess we'll see who he chooses. But like, well, I was confused by. Um, now I'm drawing a blank on what I was going to say. I totally lost my train of thought. um, so MJF is going to be defending both belts at Full Gear again, or he's going to be wrestling double duty. He's going to be wrestling for the Triple B and for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. I mean, they've announced 2 matches with him in it,
Yeah.
right?
So I guess so. And I don't like it. 'Cause I didn't like
Yeah,
when he went against the Righteous. It was a handicap match. That does
yeah,
nothing for the other team. So I'm
yeah.
hoping this time, yeah, it's going to be the Guns versus MJF. And I'm hoping it's part of his choosing. Because him just beating people by himself is not elevating those titles or anyone else. I do agree with this. We're going to talk about more. We're going to talk about it more when we get to those segments. The theory was everyone, okay, and also what happened during that segment was MJ was like, neither of you, no, not doing it. Here comes Kenny Omega. I hear the battle cry. And he was like, if you're the scumbag that they want you to be and you're the champion that you want me to be, that you want to be,
Yeah,
you're gonna let me defend my streak
yeah.
at Collision.
At Collision this
I'm
Saturday.
like,
This Saturday. That's
Coll-
why I'm saying, like, everyone's like, oh, well, who's he going to wrestle at Full Gear? Well, he's got to make it past Kenny Omega at Collision on Saturday first.
I'm
Like,
like, I'm not mad because yeah, you're not gonna pay $50 for it, but MJF versus Omega
yeah,
on free TV with
yeah,
only a 3 days built.
yeah. It's interesting. It leads me to believe that probably MJF wins this one somehow. Because
I don't know.
but I don't know. I
Like,
mean, we'll have to see. I don't know. With Omega, I have a hard time betting against Omega ever. I mean, I don't,
right? This
so
feels rushed.
it
This
does feel
feel I,
rushed.
this feels rushed because it feels like you said, this takes time to really thinking of who should win and how it should be done. And it feels like someone looked at you was like, hey, you know you're gonna beat Kenny's match, or I think MJF knows, but he just reminded someone. He probably reminded TK, hey, the 14 days are up, and I think then like, oh, we should acknowledge that. It's too late to
Yeah.
do because it's just in the proper program. But yeah,
And so I feel like AEW has gone the total. Like I, I guess the comparison between champions in WWE and AEW would be naturally like MJF to Roman Reigns, but really it's MJF to Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins wrestles and
yeah,
actually defends the belt, right? So I mean,
yeah,
I wonder if they're deliberately trying to, they're both aware of what each other does, obviously, right? You can't not
hmm,
be. And they know that Roman Reigns isn't wrestling. And so
yeah,
their champion's going to be wrestling twice on a pay per view. You can't even get your guy to wrestle once every 6 months. Our guy's going to wrestle twice in one pay per view. Like, I mean, I don't know that that's any of it, but I wonder if, there's a little bit of that too.
right. So,
Uh,
and I also think that it's like we've been saying not that AEW was cold, but more so after Adam Cole got hurt, it was like, what do we do with Max per se? And honestly, you could have just stuck with Jay White, but I guess someone was like, let's turn the heater from 8 to 15, and we're just gonna add everybody coming at him like now, like, and it helped. It helped, but with Kenny
everybody, yeah.
versus Max, I'm like, y'all could have set this up way. I wish I would have set this up better.
Yeah. And I liked it now when he had, what was it? It was the TNT title, right? MJF had the TNT title. He made everyone jump through. You had to do like the 5 tasks of Hercules before you ever got a match with MJF, right? Like you had to beat 4 or 5 different people before you ever got a match with him. And now he's just wrestling everybody as a champion. I like that. Like there's no more that
Yeah,
routine got kind of old, So I like that he's just kind of now taking on everybody. Sammy says
Right.
Don Callis is going to get involved. Explain a little bit more what you think, what that means, because I'm not really sure where you think he's
So,
going to get
like,
involved.
unfortunately, this might end the screen finish, and we're not 100% done with Don Callis trying to destroy Kenny Omega's life.
Right.
So
So I
that
guess that's
could
how Omega
be
loses.
yeah, that is a solid option that he comes out and costs Kenny the match, because his whole thing is Kenny can't win without me. So that isn't a bad idea at all.
I
I
guess that
just
makes
don't
sense.
like it because you're getting Kenny versus MJF. You want it to be at least a draw or a 1-2-3, right? You don't want it to end screwily, but
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I
I mean,
don't
I guess
see.
if there's a way to keep Kenny looking like Kenny Omega, which I guess he's
Yeah,
going to no matter what, but protected in theory. Yeah,
yeah,
and not not have him lose clean to MJF and not have him take the title here. I guess the Don Callis stuff is one way to do that for sure. So
but
I hope
yeah,
not. I mean, I hope even if they do that, we get you know 10, 12, 14 minutes of a good solid match before we have the
yeah.
shenanigans. So
Right.
I guess
I
we'll have to
definitely
wait
think they're
and
gonna
see.
go 20 minutes. I was like, give them. Yeah, they're just probably gonna go 20 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. 20 minutes with no involvement, no, and someone gets a clean win. I don't see that's going to happen, but yeah, I mean, the more we talk about it, the more I'm siding with that idea that Don Callis probably gets involved. I hadn't really thought about that, but that makes sense. So,
yeah,
Hook and RVD versus Dark Order. Alex Reynolds and
yeah.
John Silver. I guess this is going to become a thing. I'm not totally sure. RVD's been here now
So
for a couple weeks. I mean, it was supposed to be, I
yeah,
think, a one-off, but now he's been here for a couple weeks. So
I still think they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. I think it's not a pity match, but I think they feel bad that he's not gonna be at WrestleMania because evidently all of his bookings have been scrapped because he took the AEW booking, right? So it's like, hey, every time you're in Philly, we're gonna give you this match. But I also like that. Nothing you need to tell it any better, but maybe like make it more prominent that it's Hook with RVD. Like you can tell that RVD is one of his favorites because at the end he actually smiled and like, wait, that's not your character. Be
yeah, I didn't
frank.
know Hook smiled. I didn't know he could smile. Like,
I love it though. I love
yeah,
it when like, cause this is all fun, right? For 75 to 50% of these wrestlers, they were fans when they were kids. So like I do love when they, like their childhood dream come true. Like
yeah,
Dad, and then he probably was like, whatever, Dad, I did it. I was like, what? Sorry, look, sorry,
yeah. No, I mean it's
someone,
got to be fun for him as someone that grew up around a lot of those guys, right? So he was
right?
a kid when those guys were young and getting started, and his dad was involved with all of them in ECW, and so this has got to be a dream for him, right? So,
Yeah,
and at the same time, like he's so stoic and non-emotional that when he smiles, it's like, oh shit, I didn't even know he could do that. But yeah, I mean, and I like RVD. So, and RVD, for if they're gonna keep having, 5 to 10 minute quick, easy matches, he's doing fine. I don't expect him to get out there and do 20 or 25 minutes against Omega now, or whatever, or Danielson. But I guess for this, I'm happy to see RVD get some time. I think RVD I think RVD is a little underrated overall in his career. Like he's loved, but I think he's kind of underrated, and I think he suffered a lot because of his outward um, ideology around marijuana. And at the time that he was really wrestling, it wasn't kosher like that, like it is now. So like
right.
I think
Yeah,
he suffered a little bit of that. So, and he's not, he doesn't, I don't know, but he doesn't strike me as one of those yes guys. He strikes me as more as one of those no fuck you guys. So, like, if he's, you tell him something he doesn't really like, he's not just going to be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So, but
like
yeah,
definitely a
I mean,
sense of, bruh, I really don't care, but like
yeah,
definitely agree with you. His career, okay, I'll say more in the WWE because ECW he did great. TNA he did pretty good. I won't say
yeah,
WWE. It was all right, but it really could have been so much more. And that also depends on who's booking as well, right? Like I don't see you. Don't know why you don't see him as the top star because we love him.
yeah. That seems to be a reoccurring theme with WWE. It's like anyone that wrestles either before or after WWE, it's like, oh yeah, they were really good before and after, but during the WWE run, it was like, oh, they were only okay. So, yeah, I guess that's a theme. So,
Yeah.
let's see, what was next? Our banner says, oh, this. Oh, this right here. I love AEW, but I could stand with never seeing this ever in my life. Like I feel bad for Sting. I know that Sting likes Ric Flair, but like this is your present, a geriatric amnesiac who probably has syphilis. Like really, come on now. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
don't.
So
But
full segment, right? Tony Schiavone's in the ring. Sting comes out. He's like, I like to thank two more people, Philadelphia and Darby, my best partner ever. And he's like, yes, he is my best. And he's like, all right, Tony, I hear you. I hear you trying to freaking what you call it, uh, speed me up. So here you go. Here he comes back. And so Ric Flair comes out. Great pop. Everyone was like, yes, he's here.
which
When
is
he
so funny
said,
because nobody likes Ric Flair as a person. Everyone knows he's a terrible person, but the pop he gets is still insane.
it's like, so here's the thing, right? So for me, okay, here's my mindset is that, right? We're not going to deny Sting. And when he says that Ric Flair helped him be the babyface he is today, and we all saw it, right? So there's no denying that, right? I can appreciate your relationship with Ric Flair. But when he said, but when he said, I'm going to be here till you retire and Revolution's in March, Tony Khan,
Wow,
we really couldn't have given him this gift in February
man. I
in,
mean, I guess
or
you,
in
if
January.
you're gonna do it, you got to do it before he dies. So he might be dead by February. I mean, he looked bad. Like I'm
When
gonna
it's
put that out there.
gonna
Knock
roll
on
the
wood.
dice.
Knock on wood. I don't want Ric Flair to die. Knock on wood. I don't mean that like that. I'm just saying, like, you never know, right? He's at that age and stage in his life where you never know, right? Tomorrow's really never promised to someone like that at this point.
It's not, but let's not okay. We're gonna
My
stop.
bad, my bad, Rick. If you're watching, Rick, I'm sorry.
We love you. We do love
We
you,
love
but like
I
4 months
guess.
of Ric Flair being with Sting.
Uh, and like his okay, Ric Flair was a good wrestler. I enjoyed. I think Ric Flair for his time and the style of wrestling that they did was a really good in-ring worker. Ric Flair's best asset has always been on the microphone, and now there's something going on with his mouth and voice where you can't barely even understand what he's saying. So like now we don't even get to hear the best part of Ric Flair, right? Not really. So it was brutal. This was brutal for me. Like I was never a big Sting fan to begin with, and I mean I was a huge Ric Flair fan back in the day. But like Hogan, and once you get to know who they are, it's like holy shit, I can't believe I rooted for these guys. But and I still, but like this is brutal. This is way brutal. Like I
It's
don't know,
like,
Tony Khan.
no, no,
This is like a bad childhood masturbatory fantasy, right? Like this is yeah,
because
this was bad.
he's gonna try to wrestle.
Yeah,
That's
of
the
course he
biggest.
is.
He's gonna try to wrestle. So why would you have him here for 4 months? No, do this at the end. You don't do this for the next 4 months. And then,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when they're in the ring, he's like, "Let me tap you one time." Like, "Oh Lord, it already started." Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, you could have trotted him out on the Dynamite before Revolution, and they could have had a little 1 week thing and been in the corner and called it good. Like, oh my god, I'm nervous to see what they do with this in these next 3 or 4 months. Like,
Like, if he's gonna be in because I do love Sting, and I do think that Sting and AEW has done a decent job of being entertaining and not looking as old as he is. Right? It's a very decent, entertaining experience for me. But I don't think that's gonna bode well with Ric Flair. But it's like, so, like, how many segments is he gonna be in? Is he really gonna be here every week? I don't want none of this.
yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see, and then probably the best part of the show. So okay, so this was the worst part and the best part of the show, right? Because it was the worst part until Christian Cage showed up, and then Christian Cage became the best part of the show, as he always does. Oh man, I can't even remember some of the things he said to Ric Flair, but he roasted Ric Flair. That shit was
I
just
heard
hysterical.
the one that stands out is Weekend at Bernie's. You can't even
That's
see the
right.
strings. Like he's
That's
like,
right. We can't even see
I
the
know,
string.
he's not dead. I just see a black liver in the ring. I'm like, sweet.
Oh my god.
It's so,
I
and like, I think it's Collision where he's like, if you can get a third person, and that's a crackhead that's standing beside you. I know you're smarter than that. I want to like, let's do a 3-on-3. And
yeah.
Steve was like, "You're on." He's like, he said, "I'm sorry, like a 2. I'm sorry, I'm allergic to Jack." But like,
Which I didn't
so
think
I
was
was
all
like,
that clever, but okay.
right. I think it would have been better if he would have done it before. I think he should have done it before Christian. Like let him say that, and then let Christian end it. I think that would have been a better flow of things, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, Ric Flair's son-in-law is across the pond, so definitely not Ric Flair, but ask Ric Flair the actual son-in-law. So
Which
we have Darby Andrade and Sting. I wouldn't mind that. I like
so
that.
2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, when Tony Khan said, "I have a major announcement," and announced Christian, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's only Christian," and I was like, "It's fucking Christian." Now look, this is what he was talking about. Christian is better than anyone thought he was going to be. I mean, he is so in the zone right now, and just everything he does is gold. Like he's better than he's ever been in his career right now, in my
Oh
opinion, and
no,
that's saying a lot. You know what I mean? So this is what
right?
Tony Khan meant when he said I was bringing a Hall of Famer that was worthy of that kind of announcement. And now you see he was.
The thing with that, it really you when you try to surprise people, people's mind are going to go to the biggest stars, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, when you don't announce him, right, you're like the mind went to Brock Lesnar, it went to Kurt Angle, it went to CM Punk, and
right.
so as great as we think Christian is, star power wise, for it to be a surprise signing, like don't put it on pay-per-view. Like I was like put it on a Dynamite or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no. He has, we all benefited from this. Yes. What is we thinking of
Yeah, Sammy says it right here in this chat. He said in this comment, he says people have been sleeping on Christian for decades. Yeah, yeah. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah.
think in WWE, Edge always got the little bit of push and got more recognition and was a bigger day for whatever reason. They liked Edge more, but Christian, I always thought was better, and I think he's better still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I don't want to compare, but I think naturally Christian's better. I'll say that. Not he doesn't I feel like he doesn't feel like he doesn't put that much work into being a douche.
Sammy,
You
I'm
know,
confused. Sammy Joe's comment says, "I heard people guessing Cena for for what? I'm not
like
for
the
Sting's
the
last
2 or 3 years ago, the big reveal. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. No. So I think they were guessing Cena because Cena was doing
Okay.
Wipeout, but
Yes, okay.
still,
When Tony Khan made the announcement of Christian, that's what he's talking
yeah,
about. People thought
but
Cena. Okay.
but still, like Wipeout is not adjacent to AEW at all. It is just TBS.
Right?
My mind did not go there. No.
All right. So then we had the Hardy Party versus the Hung Bucks. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that they were really going to win here. I mean, you never know with Tony Khan because he has these nostalgic moments, and I'm sure he's a Hardy boy, as am I. Stan fan, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call him. Um, so I wouldn't have been totally surprised, but I'm glad that they didn't. I never want to say to somebody, stop doing what you're doing, but like I feel like it's time for Matt and Jeff to maybe contemplate doing something different. I don't
Like
know.
so when I first came in here, right? It's like we're having all these dream matches, right? We're gonna end it on a high note. It feels like they've never, yeah, been showcased or shined as, hey, these are Hall of Famers. These are the Hardys. It really feels like they've just been here. Like I don't even know when the last time they won something that was prominent. So it's like with like TK, these are the Hardys. I get it, but you do have to put in work to make them feel as special as they are before they start losing to other people.
Yeah,
So, but like
yeah,
right now, it is what it is, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in the scheme of things, I understand that you're trying to raise Ring of Honor's profile, but Isaiah Cassidy and the Hardys feel like a better representation of Ring of Honor than the Hung Bucks do, just
Yeah,
because the Hung Bucks represent Ring of Honor better. But I think that, and even though they have the more history with Ring of Honor, especially the Young Bucks, it just feels like they're too big for Ring of Honor. Like and that's where someone like Isaiah Cassidy, who's still kind of cutting his teeth, and older guys that you're nostalgic for and want to see maybe one more time with a belt, you can do that in Ring of Honor. Whereas you don't want to do that in AEW per se. Like, so I don't know.
and if nothing, right? You have the belts on these people. Let them go to Ring of Honor and defend them. Like, if you're trying to sell Ring of Honor at the show,
Yeah,
they have to be on the show.
yeah,
They're
and
your
the
champ.
regular,
It can't be just Athena defending her belt on actual Ring of Honor.
yeah, and they're regularly not. They are not on Ring of Honor television weekly or anything like that. So let's see. Then we had, which was another very interesting and bizarre moment. We had Prince Nana and Swerve in Hangman's house. Uh, I thought the commentary on AEW Ramble on True Heat was very funny today about just that Hangman's wife has a tacky house for one, which I laughed at.
Oh gosh, that's a lot.
And then they were asking, you just don't lock your doors? Like, how come they were just able to like it?
So, like, okay, so the invasion of Nick Wayne at his compound, right? It was a
Right.
little bit better, right? It was
Yeah.
real raw. He got beat up, all that good stuff. With this, it was just too many questions. Like
Yeah.
the
Like this
ending
was.
scene was Swerve doing a promo on Heyman's baby. Now, this
Right.
is just me, right? I don't know how old the baby is, but a baby, a baby. Why a baby by himself at the house?
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like,
Yeah.
was you across the street at the neighbor's house? I don't. Still stupid. You went to go
And
get pampered. Why did you bring it with? Why did you bring her with you? Still stupid. Every scenario that has a baby by himself
right.
is
I
stupid.
agree with that. Where was your mama? Where is your wife, Hangman? Like, your baby's
Grandmama.
all alone. No mom, no dad, no grandma, no nobody.
Like, oh, they're in the house and just didn't hear. What
He
the
sleeps in the crib by himself. He's old enough to watch himself.
You don't hear nobody in your house that is not you or your family
Uh,
member. It was
yeah, this was interesting. This was it was creepy and at the same time it was hysterical. Like it had that creepy, real stalkerish vibe that I'm sure they're trying to get across, which they did. And at
no,
the
no,
same
no.
time, it was very funny too. The
Right?
leaving of the
Swerve, no
shirt in the
swerve.
crib, like
It's like this is your daddy's fault.
right?
He got to pay for the people. His people got to pay for his seat. No, Swerve
Yeah.
did a great job, and I love Prince Nana. He was like, "Boss, are you serious?" Like, and we're like, "Shut up!" He's like, and he's like, "Boss, we gotta go. Are you done being crazy? Please, let's go now.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to die or go to jail." And so, like, I love them too, but again, it's like you have to explain the scenario of why a baby in the house by himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing I went flat. But Swerve and Prince Nana did a great job.
Yep. And then we had what was probably the down point of the whole show for me. Sheeta versus Soho for the women's championship. Sheeta won. This match was really not good. I don't
It
know what was going on. I don't know if they just were not on the same page. I don't know what the deal was, but it was short and not good.
so like I want to like the question. Don't know if any of us know. Like, was this the first time Ruby was against Sheeta by 1-on-1? It started off real clunky, and they really didn't get it
Yeah.
back. It really started off very clunky.
Yeah.
But Sheeta's still Sheeta. I love her. Again, just give her every everyone can't be everyone's story can't be I'm gonna just defend it against random people, right? Can I get one program from one of these champions? I think Statlander should have the whole come at me with all challengers and give Sheeta an actual program. And then at the end, Tony Storm just came out and started posing, and Sheeta gave the I love Sheeta. He's like, what the heck is going on? And so it
Right?
was like, I I love Tony, right?
Tony Storm's great.
But if you're it feels like they're gonna put the belt on Tony Storm on Full Gear.
Hmm.
And to that, I don't like Sriracha, right? But you could have had Sriracha hold on to the belt until Full Gear. I do not. If the plan is to put the belt on Tony Storm, I do not like Sheeta being traditional champion. I hate it. I can't stand it. You really could have just had Sriracha hold the belt until Full Gear.
Not to mention that, like, kind of the dissolving of the Outcast, or at least Tony Storm's breaking away. That's a natural storyline, right? That's by default. So you
Yeah.
already have heat between Saraya and Tony Storm that makes more sense for Full Gear. You don't really have that
Right?
heat
Have
between Sheeta and Tony Storm, other than she has the title and I want it, right? Like, I mean, so we're back to
like
that again, which is
like
fine.
have
I mean, for the
Ruby
most
make
part,
a
but
choice, be stuck in the middle. It really could have been a longer, but yeah, again, it is what it is.
yeah, I was
It's-
disappointed that that was the down part of the show. I mean,
yeah,
the women, it's it's an uphill battle for women in general, and then when it ends up like that, it's like, oh, that sucks, because, like, you've got two really talented women. I mean, both of them can wrestle, and it should
right.
be better than that. And the fact that
Yeah.
that was their AEW women's title match, and it was that bad and that short, it's like, oh, that's what are we doing, Tony? I mean, I know the division is kind of very down at the moment, but wow, like, okay.
We, we can do better. We can
Yeah, we can
definitely
do
do better.
we can do better for sure. Then I think this was the main event, right?
Yeah.
Blackpool Combat Club versus OC and Kazuchika Okada. So
Okay,
everyone knows how
okay.
I feel. Go ahead.
Like real quick, right? So going back to a week or two when Dynamite was going against NXT, like maybe Okada's visa wasn't ready, right? But
Right.
let's say it was. I'm like, this is I'll say, you know what? Let's go into the match, I'll say it later.
Yeah. Um. I everyone knows I've said it. I've made it known here. I've made it known everywhere. Anyone knows me in the wrestling community. I'm not a big fan of Okada. OC is wearing, he's grown on me, but I'm still not the biggest fan of his shtick. I know he can wrestle, and I know everyone loves fucking Okada, but I can't. So, like, just for me, just is I mean, I'm happy that the Blackpool Combat Club gets the win here. I guess I'm kind of here for Okada and Danielson. Really, I'm here for Claudio and Okada, and I want to see Claudio kick the shit out of Okada. Like, that would be ideal for me. I thought the way this ended was good. I thought it made Claudio look really strong. That pop up, like, uppercut that he that he did to
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy and then got the win. Like, yeah, I mean, that was, Claudio's a beast, and I like the way they're pushing Claudio. I mean, Cesaro had a decent career in WWE, but Claudio is head and shoulders above the Cesaro,
Oh
when he was
yeah.
Cesaro, or what they were allowing him to do. So,
Yeah.
which makes me feel bad for him, because you see what he could have been, maybe, for when he was a little younger. But
Mhm.
it is what it is. He's getting a chance to do it now. This was a
Mhm.
lot of fun. Other than I have to watch Okada and Osprey, or Okada and Cassidy.
All right. So we're gonna bypass ALW's hateration and we're gonna get to this. Thank you very much. Uh love the match. Again, Okada being on free TV is insane. This is what I was gonna say, right? This should have been a show that went against NXT, right? When you heard that NXT was having John Cena and Taker, this is the show you should have brought home. Okay, we're gonna bring in Flair, we're gonna bring in Okada. Again, not sure how much it would have moved the needle, but it's like, okay, at least you're uh you're trying, right? I'm not saying they didn't try, but they could, like, if these two bulls were in your back pocket, you should have you should have shot them off on Tuesday, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, great
I
match.
I
Oh,
think Dolores said in Discord that, even with what I thought was a really bad night one of Halloween Havoc on NXT, that NXT still did better than this episode of Dynamite in the ratings. So the chances of them, if they had done this on that Tuesday, they would have lost even worse.
They
Well,
they lost to NXT, and the only reason why they couldn't do this match last week is because they are having a tournament in New Japan, and the only reason
Ah,
why Okada
okay,
and them are here is because they're having a pay-per-view in Vegas on Tuesday.
okay.
okay,
So that
okay,
makes
okay,
sense.
okay. Like I said, right? So that clears up that for me. Ric Flair, I think more so promoting it would have helped more too as well. We know that OC said it on Collision, but Collision didn't have that many people watching it.
Right.
So like if they would have said it on last week's Dynamite, maybe that would have helped. Again, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
We're all wrestling fans, but that's the outside of the bubble, right? And
Right.
Ric Flair was a very big surprise. Like, I know it's a surprise, but what would have happened if they would have said Ric Flair is coming next week, right? So it
Right.
really is like surprises are great, but you do run the risk of not getting as many viewerships if you don't announce it ahead of time.
Yeah,
But
especially because Tony Khan has now. I don't want to say he's not the guy that's cried wolf, right? He's not the boy that's cried wolf with the announcements, but like he's had a couple where people are like, "Really, that's the announcement?" So like when
but
he says, "I have an announcement now," there's not the excitement that there was like the first couple times, right? Because now
yeah,
people. So he says, "I got an announcement." Like, "Oh shit, who is it?" You know what I mean? So people are. So if you say it's Ric Flair, people are probably gonna get more excited than if it's just, "Oh, we have a surprise for Sting," like
yeah, like
You
how is
like
run the
Tony
not
Khan
not
gonna blow this? You know what I mean? Like,
you
like
run the
not
risk.
exactly cried wolf, but it's a puppy and you're calling it a wolf. I'll say
yeah,
it's like that. It's like
yeah,
that's a puppy. What are you talking about? Why you all hyped up for this little puppy that ain't gonna that not even growling at us? It's like that. But yeah,
yeah.
no, great match. Very smart that Okada nor Danielson got the pin or got the one or got the cover right. That was very intentional.
Sure.
It lingered too long though. Like after Okada
Yeah, it
hit
was really
Danielson, he got
weird at
hurt.
the end.
Like it
The
was.
whole thing
I
was weird where they're
think
all just kind of standing in the ring, just like, yeah, that the whole thing was weird, right?
I think it ran over. Like, cause usually nowadays AEW runs over. You didn't have to use the whole extra 5 minutes. You could have gone into Baby Sheldon. You could have gone there a little faster than normal. So like
Yeah,
the lingering was very weird. I would have cut it faster. But all in all, like you said, an interesting Dynamite.
it was
Let's call
interesting.
it
Yeah,
that. Interesting.
it was interesting. So I think that's the last show we're gonna review, and since we're already been here for like an hour and 15 minutes talking to y'all, and it's late, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I don't know if Dolores, you want to come in real quick and just do housekeeping? Um,
Yeah.
play our new.
Uniform.
I think we have.
Well, we don't have the new one, but I can tell everybody.
Oh,
First of
okay.
all,
I mean,
that is the ratings from ooh, I think it went off.
from
I don't
from
know.
Halloween Havoc Night One and this week's Dynamite.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, so here's what I was saying before, just real quick. Like we talked about this before. The fact that even within 3 or 4, well, now it's what going on 5 years, that they're even within a couple 100,000 of a company that's been doing it basically alone in the market for 45
Yeah.
years in and of itself is an accomplishment. Like, sure, you're not beating them, but you're probably not supposed to. You're the little brother that's still learning how to
Right.
fight, right? Like, I mean, at some point we'll see when it's a closer matchup, 10 years
Right.
down the road from now, or something.
And not to say they're not saying they had to build from the ground up, but they did have to overcome a fill issue.
Mm,
So like we did get knocked out. We did get knocked back like 2 steps. So we gotta still recover that ground. But
yeah.
we're still like there's nothing to be fretful about.
No.
No, we're not in the red. We're actually still doing great.
Yeah, and I think that other than live sports, I still think it's probably the most watched thing on TBS and
Yeah.
TNT most nights that it's on. So that's all those channels care about, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't care if they're beating WWE. All they care is if everyone that's watching TBS is watching that show, or that more people are watching that show, or watching TBS to watch that show. So
Most definitely. Yes,
yeah,
I
exactly.
I think it was, even when it comes to Flair, you can't announce him because you have two things that could happen. That airplane ride is gonna come back and it's gonna slap you in the face because you were just making fun of Vince McMahon, and now you doing this. It's gonna either come back in your face, so you have a 50-50 chance of he dropped out. You have a
Right.
50-50 chance of, you know, it coming out and people cheering. And if they don't cheer, you can mute it or not make the sound come through clear, or you announce it and all heck breaks loose on the internet. And then you probably would have got lower than that because you have people who take offense to it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a prerogative. You can do whatever you want to. Don't
Yeah.
complain if you're not like, to me, if I don't want to watch it, I don't want to watch it. I can turn the TV.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
everybody has their own choices. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a couple of things. First of
Mhm.
all, in the top corner of the rest of this month shows, you will see this pink and green ribbon, which represents breast cancer and liver cancer. Okay? Affects a lot of people. Here at the channel, we want to support the community. I personally know some people who've been through it. So, we want to be very supportive because we love you. You know, if we
Yeah.
was monetized, we could have did some donations, but we ain't. We're gonna get there though. We're gonna get there though. Okay. Second of all, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom of this description, right, it's a link tree. And you can go to our Discord, right? We have our own Discord for subscribers, but you can get the tea, the inside tea. You know how we sit up here and we say, hey, did you check the Discord? Now you can see. Okay. Second of all, when you get in that Discord, right, I have a predictions contest up. Okay. Me, ALW, and Sammy will fill it out. Okay. You need to see if you're going to win. Okay. I hate to see. You all kept saying for months before I left, hey, Dolores, you know what? We want to participate. We want to do it. And then you get a chance. So this is our starter test, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, also, after next week, there will be a change in the schedule, okay? It won't be we just on 6 out of 7 days of the week. We're going to be on 7 days a week, okay? You're going to have to see us 7 days a week, okay? If not, I'm going to have to fight ALW. And y'all don't want me to do that. I know y'all don't want me to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the schedule you see right here ain't going to work no more. Mondays, no more Into the Square Circle. It'll be me and J News Sing Stars. Okay? We're gonna be talking about New Japan, GCW, and many other different things. Okay? Tuesday is gonna be the cookout. Okay? Now, won't be no Seeing Stars, just the cookout. It's gonna have its own night by itself. Okay? Wednesday, you get to see ALW and Sammy for now. Okay? Thursday, you still get to see Aftermath of Dynamite. Sometimes Nico will be here. Sometimes we'll have a fill in. See, but we'll be here, okay? Friday Night Fights. It starts off with SmackDown, rolls into Rampage. But ladies and gentlemen, because I'm back and ALW likes to watch a lot of things. Not this Friday, next Friday, the 3rd. You're going to watch SmackDown, Rampage, GCW, Please, Buddy, and Impact Wrestling Turning Point. Okay? Four. Talking about Ric Flair, 4 Horsemen is 4 matches, 4 pay-per-views, 4. You get it all, okay? 4 for 4. Okay? You pulling up at Wendy's, you like a little hardcore, okay? You You want to see some technical wrestling? Guess what? Impact. You pull up, you want to see some good looking people? That's the Bloodline. That's on SmackDown. Okay? Okay? And if you want to just have a good time and get giggles on and some stupid stuff, you know what? You know Rampage always gonna give you something. Okay? So that's what we're gonna have. Also Saturday morning, Saturdays, that's the 2 for 1 day. Okay? You're gonna get under the radar in the morning. But then you get Saturday night is all right on Saturday night, okay? Because some of us, we're too old to be out there in them streets, okay? We like to sit at home and have a good time. And so that's the show where you come and we have a good time. You put me, ladies and gentlemen, because the schedule's changing, we're changing too, okay? So when it says Saturday night is all right, you get Anika, you get Dolores, you get CM, that black girl magic, just sprinkling. It's gonna be a good time. You'll get some good information, some good tips. Listen, you're gonna leave on Saturday a brand new person, man or woman. So you better watch out. Okay? Sunday. Sunday is gonna be Into the Square Circle. That's their new home, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, Sammy and ALW, they're gonna pray to whoever they feel like it to try to be the Into the Square Circle champion. They already fighting it out. And you know what? Since I've been off, I've been watching, I've been riveted. Because listen, ladies and gentlemen, they get on there, they use words that right now, since we ain't monetized, we can use. Okay. You want to see somebody get mad that they ain't won? You want to take it to the Square Circle, okay? And they got a female tournament coming up. So you know it's gonna be real good. Okay? You know it's gonna be good. You can't miss them shows. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, me and J News, we're gonna teach you entry level of the indies, okay? J News is the New Japan expert. I am the expert of the BS because I love GCW and everything else. And ladies and gentlemen, J News doesn't know, but he gonna find out. And starting Monday, when we talk about Santana Jackson and why he had the moonwalk DDT all over Mike Bailey. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're here for that. Make sure you're here next week. If there's a pay-per-view on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we got you. Okay? We got you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we might have a special cookout. We might. I'm not going to promise you that, okay? Because I'm not here to make them do it, okay? So we might have a special cookout, okay? But, ladies and gentlemen, we might, I will let you know ahead of time if I call it Crown Royal. If we see Crown Royal, okay? If we're going to do it, I'll let you know, okay? I'm back, okay? I'll let you know. I ain't going to leave my house and leave the kids in there all alone like Hangman. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
I got you. Ain't no more missing. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I had to fight with Spotify for the past 24 to 48 hours. But you got your podcast. You can listen to J News and them have a good time. You can also hear me come back, okay? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Workhorse Wrestling Network. Please, ladies and gentlemen, support your local cancer society. Okay? There are many people who need help. A little bit here and there. If you can't do it, offer your well wishes and your prayers and whatever you feel like is best for the universe. Okay? So until then, I'm going to drop this down and let you see Anika's beautiful face and ALW's beautiful face.
Fuck
And
cancer.
Yes. That's it. Okay? I see too many people. It's the Emory Center. The Emory has multiple centers here. It is when you go in there, I have been to the center. The center is there for many types of blood, like blood, breast, liver, all those things. If you've never been there, they are very respectful. They give you things that you need there. They provide for families. So, being that my family has been affected by it, I've been affected by it. These are things that I can tell you. Support your local people, okay? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see you. You're going to see me on November the 6th, okay? But right now, you're just going to get my voice, okay? And until then, peace.
Bye.